Hello. Today I am looking back at one of my first films. It's called KISHI KAISEI. And I made this film during my first year at Folkeskole, so it must have been 2016, 2017. And yeah, I was going through a very transitional period in my life. I must have been 18 when I made this film. And yeah, we were given this project about Epiphany, and I kind of knew that I wanted to make it about going from when I was very sad to when I was more content, when I was more happy, and I felt more myself. And actually, that kind of what happens during that transition when you have to say goodbye to an old identity. And yeah, so I made this film about that. I made this film on one very cold winter day with one of my closest friends, Marlon. She's also one of my closest collaborators. We've made a lot of shorts together. So yeah, this film's called Kishi Kaisei, and Kishi Kaisei is a Japanese proverb which means wake from death and return to life. And as I mentioned, it's about this kind of going from a time where you're sad and depressed and you're basically dead, and then actually coming out of that and realising how beautiful life is. But yeah, I recommend you go watch it first, because I'm going to be kind of like stopping and starting. Yeah, the link's down below. I might even re-upload it on this channel. Let's just get into it. I mean, okay, so yeah, here you can see the opening titles, which are, I don't know, reasonably integral to the film. You kind of have the Japanese characters and then the kind of English-Japanese translation. And it was really important to me that firstly you saw the water in this, and if you see how dark the water is, that is then reflected at the end of the film. But yeah, so Kishi Kaisei, so Wake from Death and Return to Life, that comes from a band I was listening to at the time. They're called Heart's Revolution. It's a really upbeat song, which is really like just really boppy and just really happy-go-lucky. I was like, Kishi Kaisei, what's that about? And it's about waking from the bad times to return to the good times. Okay, so an interesting note here, you hear like the Foley sound, that's me recording my own feet because it was so windy. Oh my god, this film, we had to dub the whole thing. We had to dub it, I completely forgot actually. So this film, all of the audio you hear is completely re-recorded, so I had to go out and like find the audio I wanted. You can also see, I don't know when we filmed this, probably around November, no, maybe it was actually later on the next year. Maybe it was January. It must have been around December, January we filmed this, because if you just look how cold it is, look how bare the trees are. When Norway gets cold, Norway gets grey. Like there's not, well, obviously you have like evergreen trees, but there's no leaves. Nowhere. Here's beautiful Marlon looking very young. Okay, so you can now see the premise of the film, right? I don't think this looks too bad, for like me being, I don't know, fuck all. I mean, yeah, look at Norway. I mean, the only thing I wish I did is, I wish I just took the camera down, so we kind of like lost some of this background, like the houses and stuff in the background are a bit messy. I would do that differently. But yeah, so the way I did this is I just superimposed the images and then did a crop and a fade in Adobe. But what was really hard with this, getting the lines lined up. We'll see in a second. Yeah, you'll see.
I think it's time. I can't. I can. It's over now. You know that? I know that now.
Okay, so what was really tough with this film is for Marlon, because Marlon was doing both parts of the script. You can see how cold she is. You can see like her hands like are just in her sleeves. It was really cold. God. But we filmed it in one day, and I remember we got back and we were just like hugging this heater. Anyway, but so you can see that she's got these 2 lines. She had to like kind of say the lines as if she had to like she must have said them in her head to herself, and then been like, I know that now, like, but obviously it wasn't perfect. So what I did is actually like I re-stitched it together. So I had to slow down. So Marlon here, who's standing, who's not speaking, is probably slowed down, and I had to chop it up line by line so then I could slow or speed up the parts that were in between each line. Does that make sense? So that it would sound, I think, but it was kind of weird. It was like constructing a conversation because you were constructing the timing. But yeah, you can also see in the background, again, this is why I wish I had the camera lower, that cars disappear. Like they just fade away, which is quite funny. And that's why I wish I didn't have it. I wish you just had the sky or maybe some trees behind them. But this is the road that I wanted to use. It was actually a working road. I mean, we're in the middle of the countryside, but cars did come down and we just had to be like, cut, next. But yeah.
Then why are you still here? I'm lost. We are lost. No. No, not anymore. I need your... No. Let me take your...
Again, syncing this up was quite
Stop!
an issue. That stop didn't sound super good. Again, it was recorded inside. It wasn't recorded outside. Maybe we could have recorded it out. But like, yeah.
We are safe together. We are one.
So again, you can clearly see that, you know, the one character who's dressed in black, you know, who needs, you know, colour theory, right? And the other character in this kind of more colourful ensemble is the dark and the kind of more lighter side of this identity, of her identity, the main character's identity. And you can see like the darkness really trying to like grab her back and yeah, and pull her back to this dark place. And it's just like, no, like, your time's over now. You know, like, yeah, we were one, but not anymore.
We are you together. I'm no longer you.
Yeah, so I just really want to pull in these ideas of when you are suffering from periods of depression or mental illness or any kind of dark time, you kind of feel like you are that. And actually, when you get to the other side of those things, it can be quite hard to say goodbye. And you know, sometimes they never go away, you know, as well. That's what I was trying to get across. I mean, I watched this now, and I think Marlon also will probably find it a little bit cringy. Like, you know, again, we were 18 and, you know, feeling really big feelings, and yeah, you know. Yes, but come on.
We will see.
Okay.
We will not.
I mean, like, this is just the kind of, like, I just love this kind of stuff. I love this kind of shot. I love, like, it's dramatic. I love this kind of prop. It's just, I think it's sick. I really like, as much as this film I can look back on and be like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. Well, you know what? At least I did fucking that, you know? Like, it makes me happy. It makes me happy. So she's like, you know, we all say, it's like, no, we're not. And I love that drama.
Before I go, I would like to apologize. You are forgiven.
You know, I know these lines, like, I really worked over these lines. Just getting past your past self, you know? And you can really regret it, you know? You're like, why was I so sad? Why did I treat people like that? And you've got to forgive your past self, because they are sorry and they were just trying to do their best. I'm only sorry for myself because it wasn't nice being myself, but I'm also sorry for the people that were around me, because I really probably hurt a lot of people, especially friends and family. And yeah, I really had to forgive myself for that whilst killing myself. You know, just whilst like, yeah, you're forgiven, okay? And guess what's gonna happen? Okay, so yeah, I mean, I wish I had a better transition. Like, I really like the music. The music is by one of my favorite bands of all time, Ice Peak. At least I think that's how you say their name. It's IC3PEAK. They're a Russian band. They're really fucking up the system over there. They're really they're making art that they're making art. You know, they're making art that is fucking up the system. They're making that's what they're doing. You know, in Russia, in Mother Russia, and I listened to their music and I was like, yeah, this and this song, and actually some of the lyrics of the song, I was like, ooh. So when she said like, give me all your, let me have your, like, those are like lyrics in the song that I was like, those are really beautiful. Let me put those in, into my script, which then inherit, like, obviously, again, this is like bad shit filmmaking where I just use the music. But yeah, so I was playing with like also do like running. I do like in films. I don't know why. I just think it's very emotive. And she's running away from her dead past self. So keep running, sis. And yeah, and I really, one thing I do like about this is like I was switching backwards and forwards between these two. So here it goes between like quite light and dark, and I quite appreciate that. And the fact the black comes in on beat, and it's like she's kind of running forwards and running backwards, and she can't get over it. Oh my god! I mean, we were so lucky. We were so lucky with this day we got. This is such a typical Norwegian winter day where the sun is so bright and so golden, and I love this shot so much. I mean, look at the colours, like that gold, that really crisp, like honey gold, and then this like blue purple in the shadows, and you'll see, and it's the same blue purple that was on the ocean at the beginning. And yeah, just the shadows, and just like a Marlon's hair, and just the way the light comes through the trees, distorting the trees. Yeah, I really love this film. I really love this shot. And we were just lucky to get it on the day. Not a fan of this shot. I could have done it better. Maybe like down. Yeah. You know, sometimes all you need to do after a tough period, just go find an ocean and go stare at it. It's kind of what I tend to do. I love this shot as well. I mean, look. Isn't that just the most beautiful place on the planet? Yeah. I mean, something's interesting about my films is they're pretty much, if they're not documentary, filmed all in Norway. If they're all my narrative stuff is in Norway, basically. I mean, when you have a landscape that looks like that, how could you set anything anywhere else? And setting all these dramas within this beautiful landscape is kind of a celebration of the natural world. For me. To me! Oh, to be living in Norway and looking at the ocean. And then you can see the difference between the beginning credits and the end credits. You can see now it's like light reflecting on the water, so we've literally gone from a dark place to a light place, blah blah, like, we get it. And yeah. That's me. This was like the first film I made with Marlon, and it was like the first kind of film I made, and I was like, wow, I think that's like really kind of more my style. And yeah, as we watch other films, I hope that will become more apparent, like, to what my style is and to what I like. And yeah, I see this film as being, and I love that it's got I Speak in it, because I still listen to I Speak, and if you haven't listened to I Speak and you kind of like, it's kind of electronic punk. They call themselves audiovisual terrorism. Like, they're bad. So yeah, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Check out that short film, and yeah, hope you have a lovely day. Bye. Bye.